What's up, everybody? Got another build video here. I am actually in patch 1.2 back on Sentry's Call. I'm wearing my 4-piece Sentry's Call set. I'll explain why. We found, running in a Dark Zone 6 group, that having one person with Sentry's Call was very beneficial. Adding those stacks up to buff the party's damage is incredibly benefit. It's so good. We were able to clear so much faster once I switched to Sentry's. And what made me decide to switch to Sentry's instead of someone else in my group is because when I play in the Dark Zone, I do not use my submachine gun to kill NPCs unless they're right in my face and it's an emergency situation. I save all my submachine gun ammo for PvPing. I don't know if that's how you guys play, but I refuse to waste submachine gun ammo on NPCs. Same thing with medkits. I pretty much refuse to use medkits when it comes to NPCs, and I just would rather either die or whatever than use a medkit. Usually I get revived. I'm very, very stingy with my medkits and my submachine gun ammo. So I usually use my M44 and kind of stick back a little bit and snipe to kill the NPCs. And now that I'm using Sentry's, it works really good. Now, Brutal got nerfed. Brutal talent got nerfed in the 1.2 patch, and it used to multiply your headshot damage by a crazy amount rather than just add a base and number. It was more than just multiplicative. It was like multiplicative, additive, even more than that. It was insane. But they did not change the way Sentry's works. So Sentry's says that it gives you 30% headshot damage. Now let's look at my headshot damage. Let's see, we're at 89% with my my MP7. Let's switch this up to my M44 and check my headshot damage out. We have 330% headshot damage. So when I remove my Sentry's Call, what we should have is 300% headshot damage. That is not the case. Let's see what we lose. I think it's around 100%. So we'll throw the Striker's backpack on. A Lone Star holster, and let's do a Striker's mask. So now we have something's broken here. Oh wait, never mind. I'm looking at crit hit damage. 230 headshot damage. So exactly 100. So Sentry's Call 2-piece bonus is adding over 100% headshot damage to my marksman rifle. It's insane. It is so beneficial. I hit so much harder. So if you ever do snipe, keep in mind that Sentry's Call 2-piece bonus is still giving you a crazy multiplicative and additive, or whatever the crazy formula is, to come up with somehow 100 more headshot damage. There's 70 headshot damage coming out of nowhere here, and it's amazing. So let's go back to the build though. Put this back on, and this back on, and this back on. And we'll go over each piece of gear that I use, and then I'll show you my weapons. As you can see, my DPS is pretty high. We're at 177,000 DPS, and by pretty high I mean not very high. But considering my other stats, and the fact that I'm using Vigorous Chest with Booster Shot, my DPS goes pretty decent amount. Let's see what it goes to with my submachine gun when I booster shot. We go up to 203, almost 204k DPS right there. Not bad at all, considering I have 400k toughness and almost 23,000 skill power. Sitting on exactly 100,000 health, well, 100,080 health. Let's look at my mitigation here. We've got perfect mitigation. I'm over it by like 12 armor over. The new mitigation cap is 75%, and it requires 5,354 armor to hit that cap. So I'm just at the max cap right there. And I'll show you how I get all those. So my chest piece, first off, is a Vigorous chest piece. It's pretty decent. It's got good armor. It's not the greatest. It definitely has room for improvement in all aspects. Primarily, I want the skill to be first aid self-heal. Whether mine's a stamina roll, but it really doesn't matter whether it's stamina or firearms. You just have to have that balance between your gear If this was firearms, I would need stamina on something else of my gear that's currently firearms. So that's how that works. There's not any rules or specific places you need your stamina or your firearms gear. But perfect roll for me on this would be very, very high armor. I think I could get about 100 more armor than this. Max main stat, I could definitely get another 100 main stat here. And first aid self-heal, very, very important when you're running a booster shot vigorous build. It does have the ammo capacity, which is nice. Protection from elites is also nice, especially in Dark Zone 6 now. So is exotic damage mitigation, and so is health on kill. All of those are usable. It's socketed with a stamina mod with armor. This is my best new mod that I've crafted. 151 stamina and 157 armor. Pretty awesome mod. But let's go back to the mask here. So just got this new mask. It's pretty nice. Actually, it's pretty bad. I take that back. It's got very, very low stamina, like the lowest it can possibly be for a 240 piece. It's pretty bad, actually. But it does have good skill power, over 5,000 skill power, so I can't really complain. I think I got that roll on my first try, and it's almost maxed out on skill power. Gotta have skill power on your mask. Very, very important. And this one here is socketed with a firearms armor mod. Now, the reason I need that firearms is so that I can hit the 25, is it 2579 I think it takes to unlock brutal or responsive, which my gun has brutal, and some of my guns have responsive, but gotta hit that mark there. So the balance between my mods was able to reach that. I'm just a little bit over cap, but not bad. Pretty sweet mask. Has scavenging. I don't know if that really matters anymore with the new cash drop rate or whatever, but that's it. I forget what skills you can roll on this, but it's got sticky bomb, explosion radius, and of course the mod slot. As far as knee pads go, I found a nice new pair of knee pads. Actually no, these are my old knee pads. These are my knee pads that I got back in the day, and they just rolled really, really awesome. I wish they had some shock resistance, which they don't, and they don't have fire resistance either, but they've got some firearms, crit hit damage, and first aid ally heal, all of which are nice. And these things rolled max base armor. They have a 870 or 887, something like that. Whatever the max base armor is. I think these are my knee pads that rolled perfect armor. They have a 139 armor mod in, so whatever the 139 minus this number is what they have. They're really, really good. Really, really good knee pads. It's gonna be nearly impossible to replace these. And they got that bonus first aid ally heal to help my teammates when I heal. And the enemy armor damage is nice. That's 9% extra damage to almost all the NPCs in the Dark Zone for most of the time you're dealing damage to them. So can't complain there. Gonna be hard to replace those. Got a new backpack today. This is awesome because my old backpack was firearms. And I'll show you the next piece of gear that I have, which are gloves. I used to roll stamina gloves firearms backpack. It's really, really hard to get a Sentry's Call backpack in stamina. They almost always drop with firearms. But I got lucky today, and this one dropped with a pre-rolled 6,731 skill power. Gotta have skill power on the backpack. It's a 100% necessary stat for me to have on the backpack rather than crit damage or armor. It rolled decent armor, and it rolled, I think, decent main stat as well, like near max main stat, I think. I don't remember, but oh wait, no, it rolled firearms, and I re-rolled it to be almost max main stat. As you can see, it has 829 stamina on it with my mod. My mod has 160 stamina and 133 armor. It's not that great, but it's got some good stamina to it. Backpack, really, really hard to get, but as a skill attribute, really shoot for first aid self-heal. Chests, backpacks, and gloves can roll it, and unfortunately there's 19 skills that can roll on backpacks, and first aid self-heal is one of them. I once spent 2 million credits trying to get it on a backpack, and probably will never do that again, because it never showed up. Really, really nice backpack. Excited about this. Finally a good upgrade to my backpack, which I've been trying for a very long time to get. Let me go back to knee pads. Let me touch on something. I know in one of my builds I recommended armor on knee pads, but that's only if you don't have good enough gear. I've found out that if you have good enough gear, you can reach max mitigation with a socket, and then you get that extra firearms or stamina or whatever you want. One thing I've been considering is dropping one of my stamina mods for the new performance mods. I'd like an armor with first aid self-heal on it, so I could have potentially 4 pieces of gear with first aid self-heal, or even just an additional one to whatever I have now. First aid self-heal with armor on a performance mod would be great. They buffed it up. I think it's like 12.5 or 13.5 bonus to first aid self-heal on your performance mods that you can get. That would be really awesome. I would give up 1 stamina mod slot for that. And if you have bad gear, or not necessarily bad, but say you have bad base armor on your gear, armor on knee pads is where you want to do it. You don't want to put armor on your backpack. Even though it can roll so much more, you can get like 300 armor on your knee pads. And once you get good enough gear, you can get that armor off and get a mod slot on. But let's go back to my new gloves. I got these today as well as that backpack. These gloves are what I've been after. Unfortunately, they rolled really low crit damage, but that's about all that's bad about them. They're Savage gloves with 620 firearms. Not bad. They're actually pretty low armor. If I had better armor on a few of my pieces of gear, I could actually drop one of my mod slots requiring armor and either go with like a skill power or a skill power first aid self-heal, which I actually do have one of those. It's pretty awesome. That would be real nice to add. But pretty low armor. And I re-rolled these like 5 times and couldn't get more than 5.5 crit chance. What's crazy is they rolled crit chance every single time, but I could not get to 6.5. So I gave up. They weren't really worth it for that 1 extra crit. I had to roll the crit on there as that's how they rolled something else crappy like assault rifle damage or something. But their assault rifle, or their crit chance, crit damage, and health on kill with, most important, finally my first piece of gear with first aid self-heal on it. I've been struggling so hard to get good rolls with first aid self-heal. Hopefully I get a vigorous chest next. I'd really like, maybe I need to craft some more or something, but a vigorous chest with first aid self-heal would be so good. The problem with booster shot is it's half as powerful as overdose, your first aid skill. So I only have enough with my 100k health. Let me just show you here. I have enough, I think, that I give myself a full heal. Yep, I get a nice full heal, especially now that I have first aid self-heal. That jumped up really quick, actually. What a big difference that made. That's crazy. So not even close to not making my full heal now. Let's look what it does here. Booster shot is now running 21,000, almost, yeah, 21,000 self-heal, which is very, very low. It obviously heals me a lot more than that, because I have 100k health. Overheals are half of your health, so when I have a full bar of overheal, I have 150,000 health. It's a 50k overheal, and these do tick twice, and it ticking twice should only heal me for, what, 42,000, but it's obviously healing me for more than 42,000. I don't know if first aid self-heal affects that. That's really weird. I'm curious. Let's try changing. I don't have any gloves to change into. Maybe first aid self-heal doesn't show up on the bar, and it's just giving me that bonus that I didn't have before. But yeah, these gloves really, really nice. I would like some with some better crit hit damage. Unfortunately, it's low. And honestly, I'd like some with some submachine gun damage on them. Well, submachine gun, crit damage, crit chance, amazing. Gotta have them. But first aid self-heal is more important than this last slot here. As long as they got crit chance, crit damage, and first aid self-heal, you're good to go. And of course, the Savage talent, which I'd say is the best high-end item in the game. I would probably choose this over Vigorous Chest if I had to choose between the two. If it was a build like 3-piece Sentry or 3-piece Strikers, 2-piece Sentries, I would run Savage gloves rather than Vigorous Chest, and then I just switch back to Overdose and run a set chest. So keep that in mind when you're looking for gloves. And final is the holster. Got a nice holster, 600 plus main stat on my firearms and my stamina. Really low on my electronics, which is unfortunate. I'm sure I'll be finding a new upgrade here soon. This is going to be not that hard to replace with the Dark Zone dropping the way it is. And it rolled armor. Gotta have armor on your holster. 100% gotta have it. Can't give it up. I'm curious though. I wonder if you had perfect armor rolls, if you could roll that armor into a mod slot and make up for it with having armor mods. Maybe. I don't think so, because there's so much armor there, and you can only get 160 something or whatever armor. Actually, no. Item 33 mods are dropping, so it's possible to get even higher armor rolls on some mods. I haven't been able to find one, but that'd be cool to hit that. You'd need to make up, what, at least 300 armor elsewhere. I don't know if that's possible. I don't think I could make up 300 armor elsewhere. Maybe if I had perfect mod slot rolls and perfect rolls on everything, you could do it, but that's going to be really far down the line to have a holster with a socket instead of armor and still reaching max mitigation. But this is my build. I am running an MP7. My MP7 has Brutal and Deadly. Brutal is not in the bottom slot, so that is why I upped my firearms. If Brutal was in the bottom slot, I would actually be using one more piece of stamina gear and dropping my firearms to only unlock Deadly, which takes like 2,063. And that would be really awesome. 2,063 firearms. My DPS would go down a little bit. It's actually 177. I don't know why. If you change your knee pads, it usually fixes your DPS from bugging out. But it just bugged my DPS and dropped it even lower. I don't know why. This game has weird UI bugs, man. It's pretty weird. Pretty weird. It bugs out all the time. Let's see if that fixed it. There we go. Nope, it's still supposed to be 177. That's kind of bothering me, but oh well. The other gun I'm using is the M44 with Vicious, Deadly, and Cool-Headed. This is just a 182 M44, but I haven't been able to get something better. I carry with me this M870 that I just found. Brutal, Deadly, and Responsive. God roll. I would love an MP7 to roll this. Oh, man. I would be so happy. I carry an M44 with Skilled in the bottom slot if I need to get my headshot kills to get my SIG back. And I just found this P416. I'll switch to this if I run out of ammo with my submachine gun. It's got Capable, Deadly, and Competent. It's real nice. You get a lot of extra damage with casting your skill, and you get some good recoil reduction and stability or accuracy reduction or increase when you pop Capable. Pretty nice P416, but those are the guns that I run with. And I actually use my pistol in the Dark Zone now because of Sentry's only working with semi-automatic guns now. I pull my pistol out quite a bit. My pistol is a PF45, and the reason I use this is because it has a magazine and a base rounds per minute of, I think, 600. With my mag, I upped it to 24 in the 24 in the magazine with a 752 round per minute. This thing fires crazy, and it's really good for stacking up headshots. You just get headshots so quick with it. I love it. When there's multiple hard-to-kill enemies out there, a lot of times I'll pull my pistol out, give them all a couple of taps, get those headshot damage multipliers up, and then pull my marksman rifle out and do that damage while my teammates are getting the full benefit of 3 stacks of sentries. It's real nice. Also, I found when you get the really annoying people that do this new PvP style of running up to you and trying to be right next to you, just sprinting around in circles, making it really hard for you to shoot them, what I found is I could back off, shoot them with my pistol a few times, and then my teammates have a bunch of extra damage on them and can probably end up killing them. Today was really lame in the Dark Zone. We kept running into these groups that just want to run up next to you, drop turrets on the ground, and just run around until you get shocked or something. It's so hard to hit them when they're that close to your bodies. I don't know. I hope the game doesn't turn into that, and I don't run into that more, because it was really annoying. I can't hit people good when they're just right next to you running around. The move speed is too fast in this game for the distances that they're at up close, and it's so hard to get enough damage to kill them. We witnessed a few 1v1s today that just couldn't end, could not kill each other until they used either fire rounds or shock turrets or shock grenades. The only way to get them to die was to actually get them from stop moving. So the PvP has definitely changed. For the most part, I've liked it a lot better until today when we ran into these weirdos that just want to run around in circles around you while you try to kill them and waste your ammo. But overall, that's my build. Oh, I gotta show you my talents. So I run booster shot, obviously, first aid booster shot. It's really, really awesome. Okay, I guess it upped it. I'm getting 27,000 heal now. That makes more sense. It looks like my gloves weren't taking effect earlier. So now it makes sense. It ticks twice, so that means I'm getting a bit over 50,000 health. So if I'm a little bit damaged, I'll go to full health without having to run back in it a third time. But I really want to get more first aid self-heal so that I can heal myself from being damaged to full overheal. That'd be really, really nice. I lots of times run smart cover. It depends what our group is consisting of, but smart cover, either recharger or concealment. You gotta have smart cover in the PvP group now. It's really good for PvE and PvP, but in Dark Zone, really, really important. Our skill power guy usually runs smart cover, so I don't run it. I will run either shock turrets, pulse, or flash, or mobile cover. We did a mobile cover test. It was really fun. You do mobile cover. We did a whole day playing with mobile cover, smart cover, immunizer station on it. It was just insane. People couldn't kill us. We were able to take a default crit to the head of over 6,000 damage and reduce it to 670 damage when we had all of our buffs up. It was insane. Could not kill us. But didn't run that today. But yeah, all those work pretty good. And as far as talents go, I run triage, obviously. Critical save. Using a med kit during low health increases your damage resistance by 40% for 10 seconds. This is really, really important. It's best if you're taking damage to wait until you're in your bottom health bar. That's what it means by low health. You have to be in your last segment of health to get this damage resistance. And that damage resistance is very, very helpful. So you can pop your med kit and then maybe do an overheal and have insane damage resistance. The other thing I use is combat medic. I use this mainly because it's bugged out and gives your med kit a lot stronger of a heal to you, and it heals your friends. I don't use it to heal my friends. I use it to give myself a better heal. The only downside is it's even more bugged, and if you use a med kit when smart cover's out, it destroys your smart cover. I don't know why. It's really, really lame, but it happens. So be cautious if you ever notice your smart cover disappearing. It's probably because someone in your group or you used a med kit and they have combat medic. If you don't want that happening, tell everyone in your group to take it off. The only downside is your med kits are very, very weak now. The other skill I use is on the move. Kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage by 30% for 10 seconds. This is very, very useful in the Dark Zone against the new 34s. It's also fairly useful in PvP. The only downside is you gotta be moving when you get the final kill, and that's when they're crawling on the ground for their lives, for their teammates to try to resurrect them. You gotta get a kill with your gun while moving, finish them off. I don't think running up to them and meleeing works. I've tried it and it hasn't worked, but I kind of remember that it did work sometimes. I don't know. I'd have to test it out. If you can get a melee in while moving, maybe it does, but as far as I know, it didn't work out when I tested it. Not exactly sure. Another skill that's really good is one is none. It's kind of fixed. It no longer is going to jam on you in your last bullet, but if you hit reload while firing your gun and one is none is proccing, your gun will jam for like 10 seconds. Let me just show you. Let's use it real quick. It's really lame. So if you're unloading and you reload while it's proccing, oh, I don't know if I applied it. Did I? I didn't. I was gonna say I don't think I applied it. Here we go. It wasn't proccing there. Oh, maybe that patch fixed it. It's just not reloading now. Oh, there it goes. It didn't fix it. Jammed. I can't fire. I can't reload. I can switch guns and switch back. And now it says there's 20 rounds. Yep. It did not work. They still haven't fixed it. Yep, jammed again. So do not reload. Oh, whoa, I'm at 40 rounds. That was weird. Do not reload until you stop firing if you're using one is none. Now, one is none is great for headshots. Like, look at how much I can shoot into this thing. That is just insane. And with a shotgun, One Is None is amazing too. Watch this. You have infinite rounds to the head. It won't ever stop. Because every pellet counts. So, One Is None is just insane when you get headshots with the shotgun. But in PvP, if you're anything like me, good luck with that. Unless they're standing still. So, One Is None is definitely an option. Just be careful with it if you do use it. I don't use it anymore. I used to swear by it, thinking it was the best talent in the game. But I don't really use it anymore. Just because when it does jam on you, it is the most frustrating thing ever to not be able to fire. And yeah, for me in PvP, it's not that great. But it might be good. It might be worth dropping on the move for. I don't know. Because I snipe so much, One Is None is quite nice. I'd be able to reload so much less. Like, I'm still on 8. It's been proccing almost every time. It'll definitely increase your magazine size, basically, if you're sniping. So One Is None is usable, but it's scary because it can jam. And you have to give up either... the only things I would either give up would either be Combat Medic or On the Move. And honestly, I think I'd probably rather give up Combat Medic than On the Move, because On the Move is so beneficial when you're fighting those PvPers. Go back to critical save. But yeah, this is what I stick with, and this is usually how I run it. Works pretty good. If you're a solo player, using this here, precision headshot at hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds, that's really nice. But other than that, I don't really like any of the other talents. They're not that good. But I think I covered everything now. If not, you can yell at me in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this build. How many of you are running back into SENTRY'S 4-piece even after the nerf to it in full auto guns? And what do you guys think? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. See you around, guys.